Just wanted to do a little quick comparison here between the Smallrig and the Haoge. These are little add-on grip pieces with Arca plate bottoms for the Fuji XT5 camera. Comparison side by side, you can see they are very, very similar. Obviously, they fit the same camera. On the Smallrig one, you can see the Arca Swiss is just 45 straight to the bottom of the camera. Whereas on the Haoge one, you have the Arca 45 and then a little bit of a lip. So it makes the Haoge one just a little bit bigger across the bottom. The grips are also slightly different, and I'll show that when it's on camera. But the other big thing that a lot of people talked about and I kept coming across is how they liked on the Smallrig that it's this little piece. It's toolless. You can put it on and off without needing a tool. You can, of course, use like quarter or something for the flathead. Personally, I'm not a fan of that. It doesn't really allow you to get much leverage on it to tighten that down. Traditional 5/32 Allen key. I got these for lots of different plates, pieces, camera pieces, tighten down stuff on tripods. So I have a lot of these floating around. I also like that on this, that you can put that on there and really get a little leverage to actually tighten the thing on the bottom of the camera. It is, of course, also got the flat, so you could just use a quarter or something to, fit into the slot. Build quality of them, they are both very similar. They're both metal. Grip part is generally the same, grippy, rubbery. They both feel close to the same. Maybe the Smallrig has a little bit more rubber tactile feel. I guess probably just the texture part of it is just slightly different. Nitpicking little things. They're both very comfortable overall. So on the camera, Fuji XT5. This is the 18-50 Sigma lens with just a different metal square hood. Kind of gives it that neat retro look, and really like this hood and lens. I'll link this down below so you can find them. Anyhow, so starting with the Smallrig one, because that is kind of the go-to everyone talks about. It says, gotta get the Smallrig. To be fair, I really don't feel like you actually need much of a grip, right? The grip on the XT5 has a decent enough little grip to it anyway. Even on this small lens like this, I don't feel like I need more grip. It is kind of nice, does give you a little something extra. And I suppose if you have some of the larger lenses, little heavier lenses, then give you just a little more to hold on to. The problems that I had on the Smallrig one that I did not like, first off, is the side here. That kind of sticks out, and I feel like it's going to be a problem eventually. Don't like how much that... Let's see if I can show that well. So, not a fan of that part of it. On the front, where you grip, the front wheel is very close to the grip part. Like you have to almost come around in here and get a hold of, just because it almost gets in the way of that front control wheel. So not a fan so much of that part. The grip is really quite nice. It does kind of curve in right here. It's contoured. It does give you room for your fingers between the grip and the lens. So that part is quite nice. I don't like that part on the side, and I also don't like on this side. Might be just mine, but this right here sticks out. I think it sticks out because there's a loop here. So you could put a toggle, put a toggle through there. But it also then means, like I say, that piece right there sticks out, and that edge right there is kind of sharp. And that's the part that's right in the palm of your hand. So piece of the Smallrig that I also did not like. Otherwise, the rest of it is very well made. It gives you 3 1/4-20s on the bottom. You are able to access the battery door easily. So that's quite nice. Overall, you couldn't really go wrong with it, but for me, there was I hate that stupid little thing. There's an obvious clear winner for me, and that is the Haoge one. That goes on quite nice. I really like that. You're able to tighten that down easily without doing the little thumb things. It does still have a slot on this side, so you could still put a toggle through that if you wanted to. On the bottom of it, it has 4 1/4-20s, which is quite nice. So that was one thing you can see. There you go. You have to get it kind of lined up just right. Let's loosen, tighten that down there. Now, there you go. Easily open that. So you can see when you first put the thing on, if this is out of kilter just a little bit, you can see it binds on the door, but you just gotta give that a squeeze, tighten it down, you're good to go. Now you're able to get to the battery easily. So I like the 1/4-20s. I also really enjoy that it has a QD mount on the bottom here. So any of these little QDs. Any of these other little QD mounts, there's about 100 of them online. You'd have to check it though, because initially I wanted to use it with my nicer Magpul one, but it will click in, twist, will pull out though, without doing the actual, on the Magpul, it has sides that you pinch and pull to release it, but on this you don't even have to do that. It just comes loose. So the Magpul ones do not work with this. Any of the other just standard cheaper ones, just ironic, they do work well. So the bottom is nice. The Arca Swiss works really well. It is flush on the sides of the camera. It is flush on the side of the camera here. That part is really nice. It's comfortable in hand against my palm. So I like that. The grip works really well. Same thing, gives you plenty of room for your fingers. And I feel like this has just a little bit more room, just the way that this contours down, that you can actually get to the front control wheel easier. So I like that a lot. It's a very comfortable grip. Like I say, for me, this is the obvious winner between the two for several reasons. Also, it's generally cheaper. So Haoge for the win. One more little piece of gear that I wanted to talk about here was this Rito TPM01. It's a nice little Arca Swiss plate. It is slotted on the sides, so you could put your toggle if you're peak design kind of person. Do that on either side, but also it has a QD on it. The QD works really well. So any of these other cheap QDs, cheap ones don't like that as much, but you can use them, they work well, or even the Magpul ones. So a nice Magpul clips right in, holds really well, spins smoothly. Yeah, I like that a lot. Comes out easily. So great little plate, works well. Put that on the bottom.